For years, the question has lingered around the 14th Dalai Lama about what happens after his death. Whether the spiritual leader would even have a successor, and importantly, who will decide it. Followers of Tibetan Buddhism have been anxious to hear his crucial truth. In a video message in India, where he's lived in exile since 1959, the Dalai Lama declared that they will have another leader. I am affirming that the institution of the Dalai Lama will continue, he said, saying the trust he founded has the sole authority to recognize the future reincarnation. That last part about authority was more of a message to China, which has been locked in a long and bitter feud over control of the Dalai Lama's replacement. Rebirth is a core belief of Tibetan Buddhism. But this Dalai Lama is also an icon of a struggle among Tibetans for greater political freedom under Chinese rule.
Essentially, there's a lot of fragility, sensitivity, and vulnerability with regards to the historical narrative that China wants to sort of put forward in the context of its rule over Tibet.
China annexed Tibet in 1951, when the Dalai Lama was 16 years old. In 1959, after a failed uprising, he went into exile in India. The Tibet Autonomous Region, or Shizan, as it's now called in China, is known as the roof of the world, a place of mountains and monasteries popular with Chinese tourists, though international tourists are restricted, and foreign journalists can't travel freely to the region. These images were gathered by NBC News on a government-organized trip. Over the years, Beijing has ramped up security and invested heavily in roads, rail lines, and industries. Mandarin, not Tibetan, is taught as the main language in schools. Versions of Tibetan culture are in accordance with the rules. Religious traditions centuries old are regulated by the officially atheist state. And the Dalai Lama's address that was seen around the world was censored here in China. Tibetan Buddhism was born in China and has Chinese characteristics, said a spokesperson for China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, adding Beijing will manage and approve who the next Dalai Lama will be. For all the mystery about what comes next, one thing the current Dalai Lama has made clear is that his successor will be born in a free country. The Chinese government has no right and role in the process, says this Tibetan religious leader. After His Holiness's demise, there will be a void which will be difficult for us. Few figures in modern history can claim the global reach of the Dalai Lama. Describing himself as a simple Buddhist monk, yet for Tibetan followers, he is the living symbol of a cultural existence they fear is being eroded and lost.
We seeking genuine autonomy, not seeking independence.
China sees it differently. They call him a wolf in sheep's clothing and have worked to discredit him. Images of the Dalai Lama are banned. China's leader Xi Jinping met with the Panchen Lama, who was chosen and cultivated by China's government. An important figure in Tibetan Buddhism, he vowed to, quote, take the lead in obeying the law, according to state media, and pledged his loyalty to the party. For now, the Dalai Lama is preparing his followers for a world without him and digging in for a final showdown with Beijing over the future and who will shape it. Janis, Mackey, Frayer, NBC News, Beijing.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.